So I remember one day, I'm not proud of this moment, but anyway, this is what happens when you're young. Standing on the corner, I didn't go to school that day. Even though I was a good student, I didn't go that day, trying to fit in. I had a beer in one hand and a cigarette in the other. I'm 16 years old, standing on the corner in Chicago on Martin Luther King Drive. Buses came every 2 minutes, so you don't pay much attention to the transit buses. But what are the odds of someone looking up and meeting their mother's eyes point blank on the bus? I looked up. She didn't say a word. She stared at me. It seemed like an hour, but it was only a few seconds. So I knew I had to beat her home. I was maybe 12 blocks away. I don't remember my feet touching the ground, but I beat her home. She came in. I was waiting for her to get hysterical on me. She didn't say a word. She just walked past me. I knew then that I had to change how I was living and thinking. And that was the time I decided that I needed to change my life.
I was once on a dock and asked to be a crew member on a two-masted ketch in the Mediterranean, and instead I chose to go back to college. So that was one of those paths not taken. Same thing for Woodstock. I was going to go to Woodstock and decided to go back to school. That probably would have taken me in a different direction than I came today, although some of my friends would say, oh no, it wouldn't have made any difference.
In 2012, my primary care physician told me that I needed to learn to say no because I was overextended, I was chronically sleep deprived. So he gave me a prescription and he said, you have to keep this in your billfold. So I keep it in my billfold every year when I have my annual physical. I have to get it out and show it to him. This prescription, which he gave me, contains one word. So, every year, my primary care physician, Dr. Cunningham, wants me to show him this prescription. And then he says, did you use it in the last year? And my answer is always no. I just don't have that ability to say no to the community.
Work is not an item in my lexicon. I don't regard it as work. I mean, I regard it as enjoyment each hour of the day. I look at things as what can I do to improve someone's life, or what can I improve an item in public policy. It's not work, it's pleasure.
A really good evening out is going to a movie with my wife, sharing some popcorn, and to this day, I still like to hold hands. With the pandemic, we haven't been able to do that. So she has finally convinced me to watch some TV shows, because I didn't grow up on television, so I seldom ever watch television. And now she's got me hooked on West Wing.
And some people know, but some people don't, that I used to ride the motorcycle with my third husband, with Lou. And I rode with Larry, actually, because Larry had a motorcycle for a brief period of time, and I rode with him. So I like riding a motorcycle. Can't drive one.
He loves sprint cars. That's his big thrill.
Her passion is playing bridge and dancing. And she has a good partner. We know every step
That's
together.
what we like.
It used to be a jitterbug and kind of a
Waltz.
soft rock type dancing. But as we got older, it got to be ballroom dancing
A
because
little more.
we couldn't swing our partners anymore.
Laugh a lot, but listen and then be bold with what you want to do. Dave Hurd told me once, figure out what you want to do and then give it all you've got.
I would just stress that for people who are beginning careers or making major changes, that when all is said and done, the thing that separates those who end up very pleased with what they've done with their life and those who maybe feel a void certainly is just the hard work that it takes to be a person of substance.
Don't be detracted by your failures. Don't fall in love with your successes.
Stand on your convictions, set goals, one day at a time. Continue to dig in, lean forward.
Money does not make you important. What makes you important is the kind of life you lead, that when you help others and do for others. Making a living is not the most important thing in life. The most important thing is making a life.
Help others. That's the biggie. Always be willing to help others and to be kind to others. You know, kindness gets you so much further than evilness or meanness.
I'd like to be remembered as someone who paid attention and rolled up her sleeves and did some of the hard work to make happen some things that were really needed for people in our community. I hope to be remembered by my children and grandchildren as a person who loved them unconditionally.
I think I'd like to be remembered that I worked hard on my say-do ratio, and I'm still not as good at it as I need to be, but I think I'm getting better. Rich Willis said once, the answer is yes. Now, what was the question again? And my tendency is to say yes, and that's that gets me into more trouble than I really want.
When I think about that I am over 70 now, it just doesn't seem real. I don't feel like I am. On the other hand, to be this age, it's a privilege because so many people don't get the opportunity to get to their 70s. I've just been so blessed to be involved with activities that have made a difference and that are still making a difference. And that's my main goal, is to be doing those kind of things, to be connected, and to have 70 plus years of doing that. Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to say.